Hey YouTube, it's Michelle. Oh my god. So, sorry I haven't updated. Um, my life has been absolutely ridiculous the past couple weeks, and I've been meaning to make a video, but I really just have not found a good time to make one. Mainly because I've been so stressed out, and just like I do not have. I would start talking about it, and then I would just start to break down. It's no good. So I'm in a good place right now. So I'm just gonna get into it. So the other day, like 3, maybe 4 days ago, one of the tenants in the apartment complex that I live in, and I'm gonna remind you, it's like a quad. The apartment complex I live in is like 4 different units. There's 2 upstairs, 2 downstairs. And I'm downstairs, and this is the person who lives across the hall from me. And he's like, hey, do you guys smell that? It's like, there's like this really awful smell going around. And we're like, yeah, we do smell that. That's no good. And he's like, yeah, that does not smell right at all. So he decides to call the landlords, and they come and they call the police, and because like they aren't sure what it is. So they go to investigate the upstairs. Turns out that the unit straight above where me and my roommate live, where the crazy dude who broke into our, the dude who lives there is the crazy one who broke into our apartment through our stereo. Turns out he died. Days ago, maybe a week ago, he died, and has been like rotting like on his floor, or I don't know where he was in his apartment, but apparently he's just been like, and I mean, dudes, it has been so fucking hot, like I cannot even, like I'm not even imagining, I can't imagine it right now. So this dude died, and so they told us, and the police came, and they asked us questions and all of this, and as soon as they like opened his door, the smell like came through and just filled up the entire complex. So they had to fumigate the place. I did not get like a good whiff of it before it was fumigated, but my friends, my roommate, and the other people were like, "You do not want to smell this." I mean, like rotting dead guy. No one really needs to smell that. So I was like, all right. So I really didn't know, like we didn't know how long it would take to fumigate. Like they were like, you guys won't want to come around for a little while. So I was like, oh, a couple hours, right? Because they're just going to blow the smell out. It's going to whatever. Also, can I just say that I did not realize it would take so long to remove a fucking corpse from an apartment building. Like, it was a few hours before the people who retrieve bodies like came and got it. Like we left before they came and got it, obviously, but we were there for like a few hours before, like I really don't know. So they we answered some questions, and we got our, I just grabbed my purse, and I was like, all right, well, we'll be back later. And we came back a few hours, like hours later. It was probably like 2 a.m. And we went through the back door. We left the back door open because there was no way we were gonna go through the front where the smell was like gonna be pouring down. So we get there, and my roommate walks through the screen door and is like, "Do not come in here," because our apartment, like I don't even know how to put it. I got a smell of it. I didn't walk in, but I got like a whiff, and like I know to some people it's not a big deal. People who have dealt with dead bodies before, this is my fucking first experience ever with like a corpse, and not just a corpse, but one that has been rotting in the summer heat for like days, just like in a very confined space. And like, stink isn't even the right word. Stink does not accurately portray what this shit smells like. It's more of a more or less, okay, less than like, oh man, this smells really bad. It's more like a mental sort of psychological thing, and of course it is for me because I'm just one of those people who's uber sensitive to shit like this. But and for me and my roommate, because my roommate feels the same way. It's just like you get this really unsettling feeling, and the way I've described it to people is like you recognize it as like being very similar to like say roadkill or just a dead animal or something like that, or like compost. But then there's also this element to it that it's very you feel like you relate with it like on an organic sort of level. Like you recognize something very familiar in the smell. And I mean like obviously. So you get this sense of like danger. Like this thing is dead. I relate to it. I need to get out of here. And that's the feeling you get when you, and I mean, it's just a very, and especially at 2 a.m, and like, none of the other tenants were there. It was just me and my roommate at the apartment, middle of the fucking night, with this overwhelming odor of dead dude. And I'm sure everyone I've talked to says this is fucking hilarious because he got what he deserved and all of this crap, and they're just laughing their heads off at how ironic it is. But I honestly feel really bad for him because no one deserves to die that way. Like we're wondering if it was like drug overdose or like heat exhaustion. We really don't know, but we probably won't find out. But it's like he died and was just like alone for like who knows how long. Like how long do you think he suffered before he died? Anyway, these are things I shouldn't even think about. But things that did go through my head were like there were plenty of nights where my roommate would be over at her boyfriend's and the other tenants, like the people upstairs, across the hallway from the dead dude, they were never there. Like they come every once in a while. And the people across my hallway sometimes aren't there. So there were plenty of nights where it was just me and the crazy dude upstairs, which was already scary enough. But now I think like he might have died while I was just there, like downstairs, like literally like 20 feet below him, and he died. And there were probably a few nights where it was just me and the corpse. And like there's no reason to think about that. There's no reason to get myself worked up about it. But they are thoughts that went through my head and that just added to the overall uncomfortable, awful feeling. And like a good friend of mine came by the apartment and smelled it, and the way he explained it was like, it's like a feeling of dread. It's like danger, uncertainty, just unsettling. Anyway, I've talked enough about how it smells. So obviously we didn't stay there that night. I went to my parents' place. I like cried to my mom just because I don't know. It's just so much stuff. It's just so much. It's like the dude broke into our place not a week after we moved in and through our stereo, completely destroyed our sense of security at our new home. And that in itself, and like management still hasn't really fixed the door. And so there's all of that crap. And then so we've been living there really just unsure and just nervous because like who knows what the dude will do next. And our door isn't really secure enough to hold him back apparently. And I mean, like, anytime my roommate and I would, like, come home, like, and enter the complex, our eyes, like, and she asked me if I did this, and I was like, yeah, I didn't realize you did this, too. But we would look immediately up at his door while walking down to ours. I mean, and it was just, like, it's what we, I mean, like, of course we did. This dude, like, we don't know. He was crazy. He, like, we just felt really insecure, like, around him, like, really unsafe. So, like, we were always just on edge whenever it came to being around you know, possibly interacting with him. And we said we never saw him. We never seen him. We didn't even see him when he broke in. So I guess some of you will be like, well, then how do you know it was him? I mean, like, you can watch one of my previous videos, but he left notes all over the fucking place telling people to be quiet. He had a note on the front door that was like, don't slam this. Like, he was, like, hypersensitive to, like, sounds. And I think it's because he worked the third shift. So he, like, you know, slept during the day and was awake all night. So he was really sensitive to people, like, keeping him up. So sensitive, in fact, he broke into my place and threw my stereo because apparently it was too loud. And it really wasn't. He's just crazy. So, so on top of that business, then he goes and, like, dies. And, you know, I think we could tolerate the smell a little better if we didn't know what it was, but we know what it is. We know it's his body that was sitting above our heads for, like, who knows how long. And that just really messed with us. And, it like, got into our clothes. It got, into our furniture. The day after it was fumigated, we came back because we thought we could, we're like, oh, we'll just, open the windows and spray some Lysol. And, my roommate was like, well, I'm going to go get some lunch. And I was like, well, I'm going to take a shower before work. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Like, that was taking a shower alone in an empty apartment complex with the smell of that guy still in the air was just terrible. And I don't even, like, I get out of the shower and I pick up my towel and I wrap it around my head, and it's like, the smell, like, my towel had absorbed it, and I was just like, God, I'm such an idiot. Like, why am I here by myself? I mean, it's creepy, and, like, on a deeper kind of spiritual level, I mean, like, I think it's kind of built into all of us. Like, you don't sleep or eat where the dead are. You don't. There's just something wrong about it. So, we've given the complex some space for the past few days, and today we went back, and it's much better. Like, they've finally, like, cleaned up the mess, because, you can remove the body, but when it's sitting there, like, boiling and cooking for a few days, it leaves a mess. So they've been cleaning that the past few days. It smells a lot better, but we decided we're going to give it one more night, and then we'll go back tomorrow, and hopefully that'll be enough. But I don't know. We've considered looking for a new unit, but we're going to really try and just, like, deal with it. I don't know. Some people say that we're being, over dramatic, but then people are also just, like, laughing about it, and it really is not a funny thing. It just isn't. He died, and all my shit smells like a dead guy, and it's really not cool, and it's really overwhelming. Especially, I mean, like, I've been, like, living on my own for a month, and all of this crap has been happening, and I'm just, like, over it. Blah. So this is going to be that video. I might make another one that updates the rest of my life. Yeah, I really hope the guy, rests in peace. And he was obviously troubled. I don't know. I just feel really bad. And, like, our landlord, who, after he went in, like, he opened the door and, like, apparently he took, like, 2 steps in. And he saw a bit of the body and, like, this wall of just, like, I can't even imagine how it would smell. I can hardly handle, like, it diluted in the air. I can't imagine how it would be just, like, full on. I don't know. But he, like, ran out and threw up. And he immediately called the other landlord. And here's what he said. He says, it looks like apartment D is going to take a little longer to get ready to sell. Like, who says that? A man died. You just saw his body, and it's still just business to you? I don't know. Anyway, I'm very troubled by this. A lot better than I was. I have been the past few days, but I'll survive. Everyone's telling me to just, you should write a book about your life, and I probably will. Anyway, I'm gonna make another video. Bye.